Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of No Title Needed, coming to you from the beautiful Feinstein's Cabaret right here at the Hotel Carmichael in Carmel, Indiana, USA. Scott Osborne.
Yes.
And I am
Cindy Collins.
Oh my gosh.
Cynthia.
Thank you.
Yes.
And we are your co-hosts. And today we have Donald Farrell Jr. I think it's Donald J. Farrell Jr.
It is.
But he goes by Don. So
I would prefer Don, thank you. Yes.
anyway, thanks for being here. We've known each other quite a long time.
Yes, we have.
A very long time. You are, hold on, let's run down. You're a performer, obviously, very good performer.
Oh.
You have directed, you've choreographed. You were one of the original co-founders of Actors Theater of Indiana. Now you have your own company, Crossroads Entertainment. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and you are doing all kinds. How many, because you do all these cabarets here at Feinstein's, how many do you have now?
We have 13 now in our catalog. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
And it just keeps growing by each year. The first year we wrote 2 shows, I think. Well, no, the first year we wrote 1 show, and then the next year it grew by 2 more, so we wrote 3. And then the year after that, we were cranking them out to it. Now we have up to 13.
13, and and Terry Woods.
Terry Woods, my collaborator, music director, arranger, dear friend from when we came here from New York City in 2005 and started Actors Theater of Indiana.
Yeah.
Our very first music director. So in a way, he's kind of like he's basically a co-founder of sorts in a way, if you think about how many shows he's done with Actors Theater of Indiana. And so he had been, of course, one of the music directors at Beef and Board's Dinner Theater. And we were talking about things. He was wanting to have a little bit of a shift. And I, because of the wonderful blessings of being able to work here and the partnership with the hotel and Feinstein's, talked to him about that. And he said, this is a perfect fit. So
yeah, because he was retiring, and it really is.
Yeah.
And as you know, and I don't have to say this, but I'll tell you, Terry Woods is one of the best musical directors I've ever worked with.
Truly.
And the guy, not only he composes, he arranges.
And he sings.
And he sings. I mean, he's the full package.
He is. He's
great.
Well,
I got a question for you.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Going back.
Yeah.
So we have 2 of 3 founders of ATI here.
Uh-huh.
What would you guys say in the first 10 years was one of the biggest obstacles you guys faced?
Oh, I'll let Don answer that.
Well, I'd like both.
It's your interview.
Oh, my goodness. One of the biggest obstacles for Actors Theater.
The first 10 years.
There were many.
There are many, but whenever you're starting anything out, anything brand new, always is a challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were all performers. That's what we were formally trained as. So when we're also learning on the fly from mentors that we've had along the way, all 3 of us, how to do marketing, how to do development, how to do producing, how to do contracts, how to do all of that other stuff that you didn't have to do before because you just had to take the script and bring the character to life. And then having to learn all of these in the trenches, so to speak. I think that was a big challenge. It was exciting. It was an exciting challenge because we were constantly learning every single day. It wasn't just those things. It was also learning how to, we've got to do the props. We've got to do the costumes. We've got to do the set. We've got to do the lights. And then bring people along the way to do the things that we definitely can't do. And even some of those things, I couldn't do lights, but I knew something about it a little bit, and I was learning from other lighting designers. And all of us were, wouldn't you say, Cindy? What would you say would be the biggest challenge?
It was trial by error.
Yeah.
We just hit the ground running.
And just do it.
And we just did it, and we had to.
You just have to.
Did you guys each kind of take a portion of this new task on?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that kind of happened naturally. We kind of took our path of what we were going to do.
What was
we never were like, we kind of just started doing stuff, right?
We knew it had to be done, and we would get together for dinners, and Judy would make this amazing rigatoni or the lemon chicken with the capers. Oh, so good. And we would sit together and break bread together, and we would have a good conversation and try to have a plan of attack for the next day, and what our dreams were, what our aspirations were for the theater company, for the community, and all of our talented friends locally as well as in New York and all across the nation.
Yeah, we saw
how we wanted to, bring everybody together and share the amazing talent of the people that we got to know when we were working in New York and all over the nation, and bring it to such a beautiful community here. And then incorporate also the amazing talent that we have here in Central Indiana. Which
has grown.
Totally.
Because when we first got here,
absolutely,
it was slim pickings.
Right.
But it's really it was.
It was a lot of people.
But it
hard
really,
to find.
Really
hard to find. But also a lot of people were people who were worth their salt. I'm not saying all, but some, they'd go to Chicago or they go to New York or they go to L.A. And because you couldn't really make it here. But I do think that
it's hard to work here.
Within the aftermath of the pandemic, and by doing video auditions and taping and stuff like that, if they really want you, they'll bring you from Carmel, Indiana, or Indianapolis to go to whatever city it is. You don't have to be in New York City anymore.
Right.
It depends if you want to be in the really staying in front of everybody as far as Broadway and off Broadway.
Yeah,
You have to.
Sometimes you got to get that audition quickly.
But as far as being a working actor,
And most of the auditions
you don't
are
have
still
to
are
anymore.
held in New York.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, you asked what my job was. We did everything. It'd be easier to tell you what I didn't do. Like all of us, it'd be easier to tell you. Well, I do. In the beginning, we all had to pitch in and do everything. But then obviously we grew and hired staff, and thank God.
Right.
We made coffee. Speaking of, thank you very much. It's delicious coffee, by the way. It's a wonderful, wonderful blend.
You thank Vivante?
It's
It's wonderful.
I'm kidding.
Chock full of nuts. Oh my gosh.
Is that heavenly coffee?
And I had a story back in the days of New York. I had to be using the term escort is, I just had to be the man that she had to lean on.
Yes.
She was the heiress to the chock full of nuts. Wow. I got to meet the woman. She had just had back surgery or whatever. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But when you bring that up,
I
flashback.
seem to kind of remember that. Okay. So now with Crossroads Entertainment.
Yeah.
You and Terry have 13 shows. What's the latest one? You did do the latest one that you did.
We just launched one, our world premiere each time. We love doing world premieres here at Escher Feinstein.
We kind of
can tell. It is. And so it was called Velvet Voices, a Crooner Celebration. And there's a couple of reasons why we chose that. One, just because the catalog is so rich. You had the room that just imbues the Great American Songbook. I mean, this is a beautiful supper club type of nightclub place, very classy. And all of those crooners were so classy, and what they did with that art form of crooning and what that meant and what we still get to hear today. And I love documentaries, I love biographies, and I love history. So I wanted to show a thread of those from early days of Russ Columbo. Most people don't know who Russ Columbo.
But I remember you talking.
Russ Columbo, Artie, Rudy Valley, all the ones before we knew. I mean, most people think Bing Crosby, they think Frank Sinatra, but follow the line of how the art form was carried on. The baton was passed down to each, all the way to Michael Bublé and Harry Connick Jr. and it keeps on going. And so there was that. But also, I wanted to kind of poll the audience in a way and find out who really resonates with you guys, because it's important. It's important to give the audience what they're looking for.
Right.
And sometimes they don't know what they're looking for. So if I give them a variety of options and say, which one resonates with you? Whose backstory would you want to hear about? Because that's kind of the niche that Terry and I have fallen into and found for ourselves. Is Docu-Cabaret is what we call it. And so it's not a crass impersonation, I say to the audience. It's not you're not going to get a crass impersonation of Frank Sinatra or Neil Diamond or whoever, but we're going to hopefully imbue the spirit and pay homage to that artist. Yeah, a tribute, but we're going to learn some things along the way.
And educational.
but it won't be sterile like a music appreciation class. We're going to have fun with it.
I hope.
No.
We have to take a break.
Let's take a break.
Oh my God, let's. We're going to drink some more chock full of nuts.
Chock full of nuts.
What? Right back with Don Farrell after a word from our sponsor, Randy Sorrell. Hey everyone, we're lucky enough to have artist Randy Sorrell as our sponsor. And today, he's going to show you a few of his beautiful pieces.
Check this out.
Say hello to Songbook Standards. This is an original acrylic, part of my music series that I completed in 2024. Sort of celebrating jazz and blues and cool clubs all across the nation, or the world. And if you dig music, man, you are going to love this one. Lavender Fields is part of my landscape series, and if you could see this in person, you would recognize how thick and juicy and packed full of color this painting is, and it really captures the lavender fields that you see in France and, sometimes here in Indiana. I think you're going to love this one.
Hey everyone, welcome back to No Title Needed with our guest, Don Farrell. Okay, so we're talking about your shows.
Yes.
With Crossroads Entertainment. You have 13 now.
13 now.
You do them right here at the beautiful Feinstein's
You're back
Cabaret.
twice a month. Yep.
Yeah, you have a really great thing going here. A really great partnership, you and Terry Woods. And the last one was Velvet
Velvet Voices.
and I'm sure you had Mel Torme in there.
Of
somewhere.
course.
The Velvet Fog.
The Velvet Fog.
One of my favorites.
That was
Dean
brilliant.
Martin. Oh my God.
Dino was in there.
Those voices.
Dino Paul Crocetti
Okay.
was there.
Well, his son, because that's right, because his son, he named Dino. Really? So, yeah, that made sense. Okay. So, let's go back. Where it all began, down in Georgia.
Oh,
Roswell, Georgia.
Roswell, Georgia.
Oh, my God.
Yep. I grew up there in high school. And
But you went, when you were in high school, your senior year, didn't you go to Performing Arts High School? You were accepted into a Performing Arts High School your
Yes,
senior year?
Up until my junior year, I was at Roswell High School, and they were holding auditions for the national touring company of the Showbiz Kids, Coca-Cola Showbiz Kids, Coke-Is-It Kids. And it was a performing group, very professional Broadway type of review that would go around all over the world, actually, and part of the Atlanta Better Business Bureau along with Coca-Cola. And they were having auditions for their touring company. And I said, hey, Mom and Dad, it was an audition notice in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. And actually, my mom brought it to me and said, hey, would you ever want to do this? And I was like, oh, my gosh, I kind of dabbled in performing at church, believe it or not, and high school. But I knew I had some talent, but I didn't know if I was really any good. And the only way I thought I could really prove if I had anything sustainable was to put myself in with other people that were so much more talented than me to see if I'm either going to float or want to sink, And so I did, Northside School of the Arts.
So you went to the audition for this touring. How does that come in? Wait a second. So the Coca-Cola touring thing, what does that have to do with then what does that, so you saw that audition. Did you audition?
I did.
And then what happened?
And then I was offered a part in it. However, I was living in Fulton County, northern Fulton County, out of the district. And so get this, in order to, this is my dad, God love him, I love him. I would have to pay, because I had to stay at Roswell High School because that was the area where I was growing up. But if I wanted to go into the inner city Atlanta, we had to pay additional taxes and stuff like that in order to come in and for me to go to school there. However, Dad found out also that if they they had to sign over my legal guardianship to another family that lived inside. So I was legally, the guardians were in Atlanta. I know, right?
I never knew that.
And I got to be, and that's where I was. I was in the.
So the high school, the Performing Arts High School.
Yeah.
What did that have to do with the Coca-Cola thing?
Coca-Cola sponsored that.
They sponsored that
And
high school.
we went to Tokyo, Osaka, and everywhere.
So
Coca-Cola was everywhere. The Coca-Cola
I went to Japan, of course.
in London, we were in London doing that, and Coca-Cola was everywhere. But it was a contingency. It was like Indianapolis does the same thing. In any of the cities, when they're trying to get other foreign business to come in, we were
So this is all at like 18, right?
Yeah.
So actually, even 17.
So you
18
went to the
years.
high school, and while you were going to that performing arts high school, you toured.
I did, yes, and I toured with Travis Payne, who was the choreographer of Michael Jackson.
That's
if you watch that, I knew him as Deron Robinson. Now he's known as Morris Robinson. He's operatic, basso profundo, all over the world. Sang with all of the greats and at the Met and everywhere. And the list goes on. Heather Hayes, Isaac Hayes' daughter. There's so many people that were there at the Inner City School for the Performing Arts. It was really cool, very eye-opening too, because of the community that I grew up in Roswell was very. I would say I was a majority. I'll just put it this way: I was a majority, and at Roswell High School, when I went to Northside School of the Art, I was a minority.
Right.
And I learned so much culturally and everything about the world, and it was very eye-opening to me.
And plus touring so young.
Absolutely.
Like that. It's like,
You had to
experience.
amazing experience. You really had to learn how to budget your time, because I would have to get back after school. We would have rehearsals, or we would get on a bus and drive up to, I don't know, Knoxville, Tennessee, do a gig, drive back down to Atlanta, then I have to drive home. Then I had to do my homework and then start it up on the next day.
yeah, right. Because you had to drive down to Atlanta, because Roswell's outside of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Not that far, but still a drive.
It's like Carmel is to Indianapolis.
And then after you graduate, you went to ta-da-da-da.
University of Cincinnati College-Conservatory of Music.
CCM.
CCM.
Come on, another great, fantastic program. And you had a good time there. I know.
I did. I was there originally as a music ed major under scholarship, because I wanted a insurance policy.
Who cares
I could
about
never
that?
make it as a performer.
About that.
And then I walked around the campus the first day, and I was like, it's not. I think I may be in the wrong place. And it just so happened that it was a gentleman who was going to be accepted as a freshman in music theater, and he turned it down to go to Carnegie Mellon, so they had an opening.
And another good theater department.
Great, yes, Carnegie Mellon, marvelous.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's right. So you did that. Then you graduated. I mean, listen, and again, some heavy hitters come out of CCM. It's one of the best, it's really one of the best programs in the country.
And actually, one of my college classmates, Vince DeGeorge, he is now the head of the program there.
Oh.
He is now. So my classmate, when I was going for my BFA in music theater, is now the head of the entire music theater.
How does that make you feel?
It's amazing. I'm very proud of him. And I always thought, I could not believe, I was like, Vince, really? He's doing an amazing job there.
I was more or less thinking that, full circle. But time passed.
No, he's doing an amazing job. The talent that's coming out of CCM, I'm very proud.
Isn't it something?
It's a great legacy.
It's always been like really impressive.
Yeah.
Always. And you were there with Horace Gardner, Terry LaBoltz, those two alone.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Dr. Aubrey Berg.
That's it. He ran that for a long time, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there it is. And then you're out and about in the world. There you were.
Oh, we came
just
to
like
Saturday
everybody.
Theater.
Wow.
Indiana.
You had a career before that.
Yeah.
A long time.
We had a good bit of.
We didn't come here until 2005, for God's sake.
We were still doing it. We were still doing it there in New York.
So,
Or and all
everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Your parents, now your dad has passed away, unfortunately, but your mother is still alive and kicking. And they were, knowing you all this time, it always seemed like they were supportive.
Always very, very supportive. I'm very blessed in that, because I went to school with also a lot of kids who didn't have supportive parents. They were like, you have to get a real job. You're not going to do that. And they believed so much in, not only following your bliss, basically, as simply put. If that really makes you happy, and if you're going to work hard at what it is, don't just kind of take anything for granted. You got to put in the work. But if that's what you really want to do, and if you can't think of anything else that you would really want to do, they were like, go for it, follow your dream. And I wouldn't be the man I am obviously today if it weren't for my parents.
Right. Because they did they try to? It's hard because people say, "Oh, your parents come to all the shows." It's impossible. They can't. You're working over the world and all over the country. But I'm sure that they tried to, well, obviously at GET, Georgia Ensemble Theater, they were there.
Yes.
That theater's right down the street from here. Talk about that for a minute.
Georgia
I'm
Ensemble
gonna wrap
Theater.
it up, but talk about
in
GET.
my backyard, basically.
Yeah.
Professional theater company right there. And mentors of all of ours, Bob Farley, Robert Farley, and Anita Farley. And it's been a wonderful way to learn about the craft, cut your teeth in other areas. That was first theater where I ever had a professional directing position or a job.
Did you Forever Plaid there?
Forever Plaid was the very first one. And that did so well for Georgia Ensemble. That was the prime time when Forever Plaid was really getting its legs out in the nation. It did really, really well in New York and Las Vegas and Chicago and stuff. But as far as the rights being out, that was the first time for Atlanta. And it did so well at the box office, they had to add telephone lines to take in the amount of calls that were coming on. That was really kind of cool. And to be a part of that. And humbling, too. And so then they said, well, we want you to direct some more. So then the next one was, well, let's come up with something that's kind of like Forever Plaid and roll off of that. And it was the Taffetas. The Taffetas was also coming around in New York City about the same time as Forever Plaid. They were kind of like the competitors. So you had the Forever Plaid for the men and the Taffetas for the women. And so directed and choreographed the Taffetas with Cindy and Judy being in that as two of the four sisters. And got to talk to Rick Lewis, who was the creator and conceiver of that show, because I always want to, I'm kind of a traditionalist in how I approach, because it's like, I do believe in the creative process, and everybody come to the table with great ideas and stuff. I think that's exciting. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know? And if it was so well done and received before, why wouldn't I want to pay tribute to those who really created it and give them the credit for, this is not me, this is really their work that I'm just been given the approval to be able to help try to present it the best I can. And so Rick was very, very genuine,
he was really nice guy,
very genuine and very nice guy. And so that did well, which led to other shows and
so on
and so on and so forth.
We have to wrap it up. I hate to say that.
I know, it's a shame.
It always does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, thanks so much for having me here at your table and this delicious coffee. And delicious and a wonderful
Let's not
friend.
bring up the coffee anymore. We're all going to get in trouble.
Sorry.
And
If anything, have you met me?
we're all going to get in
I've
trouble.
pushed that limit.
Okay. We have to stop talking now. But thanks, Don, for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for.
It's really good to see you.
Thanks for and real quick, I know we got to wrap it up, but your shows here at Feinstein's.
Yes.
How do people find out about
You can go to feinsteinshc.com or call 317-866-1947, I think is the number. Lord, I hope that's the right number. And then, or you can go to crossroads-ent.com, which is my website. I always put any of the shows that I'm doing up on my website,
Great.
crossroads-ent.com.
And Philip will put that right. He'll put this all up on the screen for
Wonderful.
you. And,
Thank you, Philip.
oh, Philip, you're awesome. See, I'm wearing my collar up just for you today, Philip. Okay, so come on over to Feinstein's. Thank you so much, Feinstein's, for having us here every Monday. Come on over, see a great show, one of them being any one of Don Farrell's cabarets, and get yourself a nice drink and a little nosh and in a beautiful setting. And right, I mean, it's so beautiful, so much going on. And thank you for joining us for another episode of No Title Needed. I'm Cynthia Collins.
And I'm Scott Osborne.
We'll see you next time.